Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. This is a daily close for Bitcoin where we're gonna dive deeper in the 1 hour chart, 2 hour and the 15-minute chart here. So we are looking at a potential ABC in this option where we have of course three ways toward the upside. You have an impulse for a wave C1, 2, 3, 4, but the wave 5 is not given yet. We didn't took the high, and obviously we are moving or shifting inside, of course, this triangle possibility that we saw, of course, during the intraday. We were looking if we are, of course, in an ending diagonal here toward the upside, which is still can be possible, guys. You didn't took the low also, which it is, of course, a potential target for a wave 2 here if you took the 886 anyway. So you still can have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But here the highest possibilities start to go a little bit into a triangle, which is, of course, on the 1 hour chart, potentially an extended wave 4 in time as A, B, C, D, and an E, of course, and then moving toward the upside for wave 5 finally to finish this wave C. And in this case scenario, this triangle, of course, currently is in a wave C, potentially moving for wave D right now, and then of course a final wave E that you might get, of course, can hit only the mid of this triangle and start the move toward the upside for wave 5. So this is a bearish scenario because if you finish a wave C here, that means of course it is 3 waves finished, and that means in a bigger view here you probably have, of course, kind of like an impulse can be, and it can be, of course, WX and a Y. Whatever this structure it is, if you keep the price here in 3 waves structure and under the high, that means, of course, that is a move toward the downside in both case scenarios. Why? Because, of course, in this case that you have finished an impulse, while the possibility stays there for wave 2, but a very low possibility since you took the 886. Yeah, I would say highest possibility can be, of course, a wave B here, meaning you are in an A, B, and a C toward the downside. And this scenario can be reflected in the following scenario. Here we go, where we might have, of course, here potentially a wave A, and you're looking for a wave B. Let me go to the daily or the 4 hour chart. Maybe you can see it much better. Here we go. So basically, we have bottomed here. Of course, this is our bull run finished in the top here. And you have potentially wave A, if you remember the complex structure for wave A. Currently, this move toward the upside can be a wave A again, B, and a C for the wave B in the yellow, meaning you are in an A, 3 ways toward the upside for wave B, hitting the perfect fib level for an expanding flat, and then moving toward the downside for a wave C. So this scenario can start to unfold from there by having, of course, an A, B, and a C, which is a correction between the zigzag toward the upside for a wave B and an expanding flat. Yep, so these are the possibilities right now. If we take the high, this possibility stays in, okay? If you take the high, this possibility, if you are still inside those fib levels and you finish in a 3-way structure, A, B, and a C, so if you get a little bit extended wave 5, this possibility stays in. Okay, so it's not gonna be faded just by taking the all-time high here. It's gonna stay in, of course, until you break those level, yeah, overshooting the 1.38. And this is, of course, our next testing area for a Bitcoin in case we come to this level. In another scenario, of course, which is a bullish, where you are finishing a wave 5. Now, you would like to see a wave 5 a little bit extending toward the upside, but yeah, we have to be careful that if in case we finish here kind of like 5-wave structures, meaning after finishing this wave 3 here and having 4 and a 5, this is what we are looking for, by the way, for the bullish. Be careful, we might take the all-time high for every single high that we got since this bull run, and you have finished a structure 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. meaning it can be ready to move toward the downside. As I always mention, by just simply taking the high with a wave 5, it is not necessarily to take the targets. Taking the high with 5 wave structure can unfold, of course, a bearish market after it. So we have to also be careful in this zone that this might happen. And of course, on the lower time frame for this bullish scenario, we are currently in a wave 4 and a 5. You would like to see, of course, this wave 5 here in the bullish scenario unfolding as follow. So it is not necessarily just, of course, it's not necessarily just to finish this one. It is very necessarily to finish also another 4 and a 5. And this is the difference between the bullish and the bearish, okay? Meaning if you finish here and we drop down very massively, that's a wave C definitely. The scenario that we were talking, big ABC toward the downside. If we move slowly and correctively for a wave 4, therefore we are in the bullish scenario. We are estimating a wave 5, but we have to be careful. Once we take the high, we finish 5 wave structure, we have to be always secured that we are not bearish again, okay, for a bear market, because the bull run might have finished over there. That was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.